Ever had one of those nights when the whole universe feels like it's conspiring against you? When everything flips in an instant, and you just know nothing will ever be the same again? That was me, Marcus Johnson, 17 years old. I was walking home from basketball practice, headphones in, sneakers squeaking on cracked pavement, still riding high off a solid game. Then suddenly, it happened. Officer Delaney's fist smashed into my face so hard I saw stars. My head snapped back. And before I even understood what was happening, one of my hands was already cuffed behind me. And in the middle of all that chaos, I had a strange, calm thought. This is it. This is the moment everything changes. They threw me into the back of the cruiser like I was trash. Just another black kid out past curfew. They had no idea, or maybe they didn't care, that what they were doing would soon become the biggest mistake of their careers. Because I wasn't just anyone. I was the son of the state attorney general. Let me rewind a bit. The day had started so normally it was almost boring. I'd left practice sweaty and smiling, the sun dripping gold through the trees in our quiet, suburban neighborhood. Coach Williams had fist-bumped me for sinking 3 after 3 and told me I might start on Friday. I walked out feeling like maybe, just maybe, all the hard work was finally paying off. A 3.9 GPA, steady stats on the court, and all those hours volunteering at the rec center. I was the kind of kid adults said had a bright future. I wasn't thinking about danger or cops or anything outside the rhythm of Kendrick Lamar blasting in my ears. That was until I noticed the squad car rolling behind me, slow and steady. The red and blue lights started their silent dance in the golden hour glow. And just like that, my perfect day began to unravel. I slid my headphones down. My heartbeat quickened. My dad had drilled it into me since I was a kid. Be polite. Keep your hands visible. Don't argue. Don't run. Just make it home. Our house, big, blue, colonial style, was only 3 blocks away, but suddenly, it felt like miles. The cruiser blocked the sidewalk, and 2 officers stepped out. Morrison, a heavy-set man with a red face, tried to sound neutral, but there was tension under his words. Delaney, wearing mirrored sunglasses, stalked around me like a predator. "You live here?" Morrison asked, his tone more accusation than question. "Yes, sir," I said respectfully. "Just walking home from practice. I live a few blocks. Up." "You got ID?" Delaney barked. I shook my head. "No, sir. Just came from the gym. My house is right there. On Oakwood." They gave each other that look. That "we don't believe you" look I'd seen too many times. Morrison's lip curled. "Oakwood Estates, huh? Those are million-dollar homes. My dad works for the state government," I said carefully. I knew better than to give too much truth. They started searching my gym bag, pulling out textbooks, and my uniform, mocking the idea that a black kid like me could live in their neighborhood. They laughed while going through my stuff like I was lying just by existing. My face burned, but I stayed calm. "Don't escalate. Just survive." "You expect us to believe you live there?" Delaney said, glaring. "We've lived there 6 years," I answered. "Blue House, number 347. Morrison circled behind me. I could hear his boots scraping on the sidewalk. "Maybe you're casing the place," he said. "Looking for an easy mark." My chest tightened. "If you want to walk me home, my father will confirm everything," I said. My voice came out, smaller than I wanted. Delaney ripped my bag off my shoulder and dumped it on the pavement. "Please be careful with my things," I said quietly. That's when things spiraled. They accused me of lying. Said I had an attitude. Delaney told me to empty my pockets. Phone, house key, some coins. He snatched my phone, stared at the lock screen. A picture of me and my dad at a fundraiser. "Who'd you steal this from?" he asked. "It's mine," I said. "My dad bought it for my birthday." Wrong answer. Morrison stepped up, way too close. "Your dad, huh? The one who supposedly works for the state?" A car slowed down nearby. Someone was watching. For a second, I felt a flicker of hope. But Morrison stared them down, and they drove away. I offered again. "Call my father, his number's in my phone, or just walk me home." Delaney grabbed my arm so tight it made my eyes water. "Trying to tell us how to do our job, huh?" "No, sir. Just explaining." "Hands behind your back," Morrison shouted. I didn't resist. I remembered my dad's words. Just get home. But as they cuffed me, Morrison muttered, "You got a real attitude problem, son." And I couldn't help it. I muttered under my breath, "This is bull." That's when Delaney spun me around and punched me straight in the face. Blinding pain exploded through my cheek. My vision blurred. My knees buckled. "You need to learn some respect," he said. Doubled over, still cuffed, I hit the pavement hard. Morrison forced me down, his knee crushing into my back with brute force. "Stop resisting!" they shouted, their narrative already written, rehearsed, and locked in. I was face down on rough concrete, blood slowly trickling into my mouth. "I'm not resisting," I gasped, but my voice was swallowed by their indifference. It didn't matter what I said. They had already decided who I was. They dragged me to the cruiser and shoved me into the back seat. My face throbbed. My wrists burned, and my chest heaved from the panic and pain. As the cruiser door slammed shut, I caught a glimpse through the glass. A woman walking her dog, pausing, eyes wide. It was my mom. I tried to scream, to call her name, but before I could get a word out, Morrison slammed his fist into my side. My vision blurred with pain. "Nobody's calling anybody," he hissed. I shrank into the seat, small and helpless. In a way I hadn't felt since I was a child. My mind drifted to my dad. I imagined him pacing the house, checking his watch, wondering where I was, why dinner was cold. I pressed my forehead against the glass and made a quiet promise to myself. "You will get through this. Just survive." The station brought more humiliation. They processed me like a criminal. Fingerprints, mugshot, the camera flashing in my face while my cheek swelled with bruises. They led me to a gray-walled interrogation room and cuffed me to a metal table. Pain pulsed through every inch of my body, but they didn't care. Morrison and Delaney confidently told their version of events to the desk sergeant. I had attacked them. I had trespassed. I had resisted. No one even paused to ask me what really happened. But then, something changed. The desk sergeant, a little older, more alert than the others, paused when he looked at my file. His brow furrowed. "Johnson," he said. "William Johnson's son?" Recognition flickered. Before Morrison could deflect, the sergeant stepped away, pulling out his phone. Something was shifting, and this time, it wasn't in their favor. Minutes later, the door flew open and my father walked in. He was composed but furious, dressed in a suit that seemed to command the air around him. His presence made everyone stand taller without meaning to. "Marcus," he said, calm but deadly serious, "are you hurt?" For a moment, I couldn't even speak, but I nodded. "I'll be okay, Dad." Then he turned to the officers. His voice was quiet, but it cut like glass. "Which one of you hit my son?" Silence. Neither answered. "I'll find out," my father said, colder now. "The body cam footage is already being preserved." And just like that, the game changed. Internal Affairs was called. Right there in front of me, both officers were stripped of their badges and their guns. I was released to my father's care and taken straight to the hospital. What had started as a routine walk home was now a state-level scandal. By morning, the footage had gone viral. There I was, cuffed, calm, and brutalized. I became a headline. There were interviews, press conferences. My dad stood beside me, a public official turned furious parent, promising real change. I spoke, too, not just for me, but for every other kid who didn't have someone powerful in their corner. The public outcry was loud. Police departments across the state began reviewing policies. Public hearings were scheduled. Morrison and Delaney were indicted. This time, their version of the story didn't hold up, because when the whole world is watching, the truth can't hide forever. But here's the part no one talks about, the part that stays with you. After all that noise, I still had to go back to school. I had to walk through those hallways, feel people's eyes on me. My teammates glanced at the fading bruise, pretending they didn't see it. I stepped back onto the court and hoped the rhythm of basketball would make everything feel normal again. When I heard the net snap and the ball sink through, it almost did. Some people tell me I was lucky. They say most kids like me never get justice. Never get a father who can storm a precinct and flip the narrative. And they're right. That's exactly why I keep telling this story. Because this isn't about luck or special treatment. It's about making sure no one else has to suffer through what I did, or worse, die because no one believed them. So I'll leave you with this. What would you have done in my place? Where do you draw the line between respecting authority and demanding your rights? Is justice only for those with power, or should we fight until it's real for everyone? Drop your thoughts below. Let's have this conversation about what's right, what's wrong, and what real justice should look like in our communities. Because we're not done yet. Not even close. As long as people are still judged for walking home in their own neighborhood, you better believe I'll keep speaking up. You feel me?